Today's lecture is going to be about the tribes that have existed and still exist on the Arabian Peninsula. And so, with regards to the tribes that have lived on the Arabian Peninsula, that they have been divided according to lineage into three groups. The first of which is the Persian Arabs, and these are the ancient Arabs, and very little is known about their history. They are the people of Ad, the people of Thamud, the people of Tesem, the people of Jadis, the people of Emlaq, and so on and so forth. And the second category is the pure Arabs. And these are the Arabs who originated from the progeny of a man called Ya'rub ibn Yashjub ibn Qahtan, and they are known as the Qahtanian Arabs. And there's the third category, which is the Arabized Arabs, who originated from the progeny of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, and they are known as the Adnanian Arabs. But today we'll take a look at the people of Ad, the tribe of Ad. The tribe of Ad were a people who lived precisely right after the flood that destroyed the people of Noah. If you are a Christian or a Muslim, I'm sure you're familiar with the story of Prophet Noah. A lot of people are familiar with it, and so they are descendants of the son of Noah, who was Sam, who was the father of a man called Iram, according to some historians, and Iram is the ancestor of the people of Ad. And the people of Ad lived in an area in the Arabian Peninsula called Al-Ahqaf. And this is an area of an extensive sand dunes, and it's not very far from a place called Hadramaut, in the direction of Yemen, very close to Yemen, sort of between Yemen and Oman if you look at the map. And very little, as we have said, is known about generally the Persian Arabs, and so we know that very little is known about the people of Ad as well, although a lot has been said about them from the Quran. So let's look at what's been said about the people of Ad in the Quran. The first place that they're mentioned in, or that the story of Ad begins, really, is from a chapter called Fajr, Arabic for dawn. And this is the 89th chapter in the Quran, and the verses 6 through 8 mentions them, and I read, "Have you not considered how your Lord dealt with Ad, with Iram, who had lofty pillars, the likes of whom had never been created in the land?" And I'll go to the second chapter, which mentions them, and this is the chapter of Hud. It's the 11th chapter of the Quran, and Hud is the man who was sent basically to the people of Ad as a warner, because the people of Ad had sort of went astray from the path of monotheism. We'll learn more about them from these verses. The verses are from 50 to 60, and I read, "And to Ad we sent their brother Hud. He said, 'O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. You are not but inventors of falsehood. O my people, I do not ask you for it any reward. My reward is only from the one who created me. Then will you not reason? And O my people, ask forgiveness of your Lord, and then repent to Him. He will send rain from the sky upon you in showers, and increase you in strength, added to your strength. and do not turn away, being criminals. They said, O Hud, you have not brought us clear evidence, and we are not ones to leave our gods on your say so, nor are we believers in you. We only say that some of our gods have possessed you with evil. Hud said, Indeed, I call Allah to witness, and witness yourselves, that I am free of whatever you associate with Allah, other than Him. So plot against me altogether, and do not give me respite. Indeed, I have relied upon Allah, my Lord and your Lord. There is no creature but that He holds its forelock. Indeed, my Lord is on a path that is straight. But if they turn away, the people of Ad turn away from the guidance, say to them, I have already conveyed that with which I was sent to you. My Lord will give succession to a people other than you, and you will not harm him at all. Indeed, my Lord is over all things guardian. And when our command came, we saved Hud and those who believed with him by mercy from us God. And we saved them from a harsh punishment. And that was Ad, who rejected the signs of their Lord and disobeyed his messengers and followed the order of every obstinate tyrant. And they were therefore followed in this world with a curse, and as well on the day of resurrection. Unquestionably, Ad denied their Lord. Then away with Ad, the people of Hud. End of the verse. We go to the next chapter, which is the 26th chapter of the Quran. And this is Ash-Shu'ara, the poets. And the verses are verses 123 through 124. I quote, Ad denied the messengers when their brother Hud said to them, Will you not fear Allah? Indeed, I am to you a trustworthy messenger. So fear Allah and obey me, and I do not ask you for it any payment. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. Do you construct on every elevation a sign, amusing yourselves, and take for yourselves palaces and fortresses that you might abide eternally? And when you strike as tyrants. So fear Allah and obey me, and fear He who provided you with that which you know, provided you with grazing livestock and children, and gardens and springs. Indeed, I fear for you the punishment of a terrible day. The people of Ad said, It is all the same to us whether you advise or are not of the advisors. This is the custom of the former peoples, the people of Ad, and we are not to be punished. This is the custom of the former people, meaning we are only following the ways of the people that came before us, and we are not to be punished. And they denied him; they denied the prophet Hud, so we destroyed them, the people of Ad. Indeed, and that is a sign, but most of them were not to be believers. And indeed, your Lord, He is the exalted in might, the merciful. End of verse. And we will go to the next chapter, which is the 69th chapter, called Haqq, the truth, certainty. And the verses are from 6 to 8. I quote, And as for Ad, they were destroyed by a screaming, violent wind, which Allah imposed upon them for 7 nights and 8 days in succession. So would you see the people therein fallen as if they were hollow trunks of palm trees? Then do you see of them any remains? End of verse. We go to the next chapter, which is the 29th chapter, and the verse is 38. I quote, And we destroyed Ad and Thamud, and it has become clear to you from their ruined dwellings, and Satan had made pleasing to them their deeds and averted them from the path, and they were endowed with perception. These are the verses that speak of the people of Ad. So from the verses, we have learned that the people of Ad were a people of great intellect. They were smart people. They were a people of might, and they were a people taller and bigger than what we see now, giants, so to speak. And they would build mighty palaces on mountains. Literally everywhere they will see, they will build huge structures as signs of, or as a ostentatious display of their might and wealth, to show that we are a people of power. And they do it just for that purpose, not to live in them, not to use them for any purpose, but just to signify their ability to do things, And a man was sent to them. The man is called Hud, as we have read in the verses. Hud was the prophet. He was of their kind. He was from their tribe, but they disbelieved in him, and he constantly warned them. And he warned them of a punishment. But they denied. And the reason for Hud's call was basically the people of Ad, as we have said, they come from the progeny of Noah, who was also a prophet. And so Noah was a person of monotheism. But over time, the people went a different path other than monotheism, so polytheism. They took idols for themselves. They worshipped other than the one that created them. And so a warner, a prophet by the name Hud, was sent to them to bring them back to the path. Some believed, others, the majority, didn't believe. They disbelieved in him, and they were arrogant due to their strength, their wealth. They had gardens, they had cattle, livestock. They had everything. They had power, strength, and so they denied due to arrogance. And so they replied to him, "Should we follow you? Where the people that came before us were doing exactly what we are doing now. Are we better than the people that came before us? Our ancestors, our forefathers? Our forefathers worshipped these idols that we are worshiping, and you, Hud, are calling us away from these idols. Should we follow you? Although our fathers and our grandparents worship these idols. No, we're not going to do that. We don't care about your message. So whatever you promise, bring it, i.e. the punishment. Bring it." And they actually threatened the prophet, and they threatened Hud. And so Hud responded to them, "Whatever you have, bring it on. I trust in my Lord, and I trust in his protection." And as we read in the last verses from the chapter of truth, chapter 69, it's mentioned how they were punished. So it's said that they saw a cloud, something that seemed as if it was a cloud. And since they lived in the desert, they were fascinated because they thought it was going to rain. So they were happy for what they had sighted. Little did they know that it was indeed a punishment, a strong wind coming to destroy them. And thus they were destroyed by this strong wind that they perceived to be a cloud of rain. As we have mentioned, these people, the people of the nation of Ad, they're known primarily through the Quran, but researches or excavations or discoveries were made that validated the account. And this there's a NASA account on the NASA website, it's published that I read Ubar. Ubar existed from about 2800 BC to about 300 AD and was a remote desert outpost where caravans were assembled for the transport of frankincense across the desert. The actual site of the fortress of the lost city of Ubar, currently under excavation, is too small to show in either image. However, tracks leading to the site and surrounding tracks show as prominent but diffuse reddish streaks of the radar image. Although used in modern times, field investigation show many of these tracks were in use in ancient times as well. So Ubar is also the a city. It's a city that traded, or according to some historians, it was a city that traded with Iram, and according to others too, it's Iram. And the researcher, the head of the research that that discovered the city of Iram, is a man by the name Nicholas Clapp. And according to Nicholas Clapp, Ubar was destroyed and abandoned between 300 to 500 AD. So that's it for today, and I hope this is very informative or somewhat informative. Stay blessed and have a nice day, nights. Bye bye.